Hi, this is Lori.
This is Hamilton.
And this is Peter.
And we're here again for our Heroes Character Rental Service review of
Dolemite. Dolemite is my name.
Dolemite is my name. Something different for us because this it did come in the movie theaters, but come out in the movie theaters, but is mainly going to be released on Netflix. It is on Netflix, so you can see it if you have the service. Starring Eddie Murphy
as Dolemite,
as Rudy Ray Moore, who created the character of Dolemite. And so this movie was interesting. I've been hearing a lot of good buzz about it, so I said, "Oh yeah, I'll check it out." I remember seeing Dolemite because of you. You brought it over and watched it. So I did see the original movie once, many years ago, and it was interesting.
So for those who don't know, Dolemite is a film from the 70s. It was a
blaxploitation film.
Blaxploitation movie. It has all the kung fu and all the different tropes of absurdity, I guess.
Kung fu and
pimps and
prostitutes. Against the man.
Exactly. It was a low budget film for its time, but it was hugely successful. I thought this film, real quick, I want to say, there's a lot of things I liked about this film. I thought the script was really good, and I thought they did a lot of things really well. And I just thought it was good to see Eddie Murphy kind of coming back with something, that I thought was like, wow, he's doing, I want to see more from this person. I want to see...
Eddie Murphy can be really good in movies, especially when he's not playing Eddie Murphy. He has the ability to, tone down his own personality and let a character come through. And he does that with this. This movie is about the Rudy Ray Moore, who was a comedian, mostly known as a comedian from that era, that he managed to make a few movies during the blaxploitation era, and he's pretty much known for this comic routine called Signifying Monkey. And so that was very raw and explicit, and he kind of made a name of himself. I think this movie was really interesting. When I saw the trailer for it, I said, I kind of want to see this because I had no idea about his background. I just assumed he was the Dolemite character, but he's this guy who doesn't have a lot of talent, but he just decides to go for it. He wants to make a movie. He wants to be a success.
Right.
He wants to do something to make his mark on the world, and he just puts everything to it to do it, just to do it.
Right.
Well, the thing is, like you said, Rudy Ray Moore, a comedian from the 60s and 70s, this was his story about him making this movie.
Right.
That's what this story is about. Rudy Ray Moore was a comedian and could have probably really made it as a comedian. But one of the things was, like you said, Signified Monkey, and he came out, and his thing was rhyming. And for him to say things and go through cues and stuff like that, go through stories and rhyme, that was his huge.
Well, he's kind of considered one of the godfathers of rap.
So, yeah. But his problem was every now and then when he cursed, that's when he found people laughing, or that's when he heard them laughing. He didn't hear that. Well, no, he went through this sentence or two, and then he might have cursed right at the end, and then people laughed. So his timing or his thought was that the cursing is what made them laugh.
Rather than actually creating funny material.
Right. Yeah. So what he did, he took that rhyme that he had made and decided in between certain things to do more cursing. And it came out of the rhyme. Instead of roses are red, violets are blue, he would go, roses are red, now goddamn it, you mother, violets are blue. It's like, that doesn't rhyme.
Right.
So he got more explicit, thinking that the bluer he got, that's where
that's where the comedy was.
That's where the comedy was.
I think that's where his audience was, though. You know,
and that's where his audience, and that's
where his audience pretty much stayed.
And that's where it stayed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, he would have probably been bigger because if you guys remember Richard Pryor, he did a lot of cursing in his stuff, but it was as part of it. It was.
Yeah, his the cursing of his comedy wasn't about cursing. It was about observation of life. He was very astute observation and opinions about different things, and he was able to express them in a very good
storyteller.
And a very good storyteller too.
Right.
So.
But now getting back to Rudy Ray Moore, he was everything I just said, but he was driven. And I think that's what this story really tells. And I think it told it in a very, very good and straightforward way that he was driven. And no matter what people said or did, he said, well, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. He believed in himself.
He really believed in himself.
You have to root for him and stuff. And it's like, wow, I have a lot of respect for somebody. Yeah. He didn't have the most talent, but he just wanted to do something, had a dream, and did everything he could to get it done.
Yeah, because everything he did, and this movie depicts it, he would go someplace because he knew that, well, I need professionals who are going to do this.
Right.
And then when he did it, a lot of the professionals in his face said, you can't do it like that. He goes, well, why not? I'm doing it. He goes, well, but if you do it that way, then this, I don't care. We're just going to do it. And so if you're an entrepreneur or anybody like that, you really need to go, to get this movie and watch it.
I think it's it's inspirational in that way.
It's very inspirational in that way.
I liked the like aspects of this film where they had conversations that were really candid about the nature of being black in America. It was like, there was a conversation where he was talking to someone and he was talking about, like how he couldn't wait for someone to come and give him a chance. He had to make a chance for himself. There was a specific conversation that he had with the character who played Queen Bee when he first met her, and she was saying how she didn't think of herself as beautiful, and she didn't see people like her, in movies and on TV, and the whole idea that these people can make their own film with them as the main characters, people who might not be considered the most sexy or attractive or appealing. I think that was the revolutionary aspect of what made this whole story significant. And just the fact, like, one of the things about Eddie Murphy, I believe, is he's probably the best at doing impersonations of anyone I could think of. He does like spot on impersonations of everyone he attempts to impersonate, and that's what he did in this film. A lot of the scenes they recreated from the original movie, all the way down to like the clothing that they were wearing and everything, and the way he delivered his lines was directly taken from the movie. So that was fun to watch. Anyone who's ever seen Dolemite can get a good laugh out of that.
Because it was terrible acting. The movie itself was terrible. The looking at how it was made and how it was done was actually fantastic.
Right. I like Eddie Murphy's description of the film. Like he says, it's like a stoner movie. People watch it and they realize it's bad, but that's why they like it. Like you see the boom mic in the camera shot.
Exactly.
It's one of those really bad movies, but it's also endearing because it's just entertaining on its own level, on its own kind of outrageous level. And I thought like it wasn't so much about the film and how bad it was as much as it was about the characters. Which this film, I gotta say, like I loved seeing people like Wesley Snipes, so many familiar faces in this movie.
Yeah, that's so many. I was going to name out. Mike Epps was in it, Keagan Michael Key, Tituss Burgess, and Craig Robinson, who are like TV actors.
Yeah.
They were great. Everybody's great in it. I liked Divine Joy Randolph, who played Lady Reed, the woman he discovered in one of Chitlin Circus clubs. And
Right.
He brought her on and taught her she could be a star.
Exactly.
Because she was funny. She was very naturally funny, and she's fantastic in this movie.
Exactly.
So,
Well, one of the things too that I really liked about this was that when he sat down, and it was with a black producer, and they said, "Well, you want to play, talking to Eddie Murphy or Rudy Raymore. Wait, you want to play this character?" He goes, "Yes, that's because I know the character, so I'm going to play it." He goes, "But would you really usually want to get a real actor to do it?" "I don't know, what, acting? I can do that, whatever it takes,
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, you can't. It's an art, and you have to be trained. And there, don't get me wrong, there are natural actors,
right.
but you still have to understand certain things. And he's like, "I don't have to understand anything." He goes, "Well, here's the other thing." And this is a little bit of a spoiler. He says, "But usually you're playing this superstar, or you're playing this hero. Well, they usually don't look like you." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "They're not as doughy as you." And I love the way
I forgot.
That was funny.
They brought that through. It's kind of like
you don't have like that movie star physique.
Right.
Yeah.
Far from it.
Yeah. So it, and especially back then, that's what it was. You had to have a physique to be a male lead. Well, no, let Christian Bale be, what's his name?
Well, that's different, though.
Yeah,
and that's, they put on a fat suit or gain weight. Yeah. They're considered, that's so risky.
They're really into it.
Yeah, exactly. That's not the same. I will say, wanted to bring up one of the things I liked. One of the things he was successful at, he was tapped into black culture, like what black people would like, what they would respond to. That Hollywood had no idea, no clue, and didn't really care to get to try to know. And that's still true today.
Right.
So, which is why the film became such a big success among black people and then achieved cult status later. It's I kind of love that about this movie. I'm portraying that aspect.
I liked, what's his name? Keagan
Michael Key, playing a straight man from Key and Peele.
He was good.
He was really good.
Yeah. I liked Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes was hilarious. I've heard some people criticize his performance. They're like, I don't know what he was doing. I thought he was funny.
No, I thought it was good because if you know the story behind the making of the film, the director hated Derville Martin was a pretty significant star for his time. He was in films with like Fred Williamson, like I think like films like I think they would call it Boss Niggers.
Was the title of a
Western that he was in. But I mean, he hated that film, and the only reason he did it was to get his name credit on the directing.
Well, he's like, how about you direct?
That was a hilarious
and that's really
line
how
from the movie. That went down, from what I understand. So I thought he did an excellent job of portraying this character who really didn't want to be there. He even left at the very end. He was like, "I'll see y'all.
I'm done. See ya."
Never
he
again.
just kind of walked out as soon as the last scene was done. It was like, wiped his hands of it. I don't care to see any of you ever again in my life.
I just thought it's great to see Wesley Snipes. I love Wesley Snipes.
You haven't seen him
as
in a
an
long
actor.
time.
We haven't seen him in a film in a long time.
He's been in prison.
I mean,
you got to pay them taxes, Wesley.
But I mean, it's good to see him come back. And it was good to see him and Eddie Murphy come back. All these people in a movie.
Yeah, and Eddie Murphy come back because he's a talented guy. I think he sometimes you know, they want to use the comedy Eddie Murphy, and was like, oh, be Eddie Murphy, be the Beverly Hills Cop character guy, and all that stuff in movies. So, you know, I like when he does these roles that he's not that character, because he does a really good job. Like, one of my favorite movies of him was Bowfinger. He's freaking hilarious in it as the non-Eddie Murphy character. He's great. But I also wanted to mention the guys who wrote this. I don't know if I want to mention this. They wrote the movies Ed Wood, People versus Larry Flint, and also, and this one gets me, Problem Child, which I have a story about. I wanted to bring up. Problem Child came out in like 1990, and I got like, remember they used to do screeners? You get, you want to see it free? You know, you would be the test audience.
Right.
I was the test audience for a Problem Child. I freaking hated it. I thought the movie was so horrible.
I remember hearing about it with John Ritter or whatever.
I forget who's in it. I thought it was the worst movie, and then it went on to be a hit. So what do I know? And now these guys are writing, you know, these great movies years later. So
right. No one, I didn't know that, but that's good to know, because I thought the script really did kind of stand out to me as, you know, they did everything the right way. They told the whole story. And it wasn't so much about how bad the movie was as much as it was about the interaction of the characters.
It was just, like I said, it was inspirational and heartfelt and heartwarming, and you rooted for this guy. He was a loser, but he believed in himself.
Yeah.
He didn't have a lot to go on for him, but
I agree.
Yeah, and you kind of like, everybody can relate to that. It's like, what do I have to offer? It's like, I don't care, but I want to be something. I want to do something. So
I agree. That's what I took from it, is that it should be inspirational. Like you said, to anyone who wants to make films.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely have a friend who talks about making movies, but I think you have to see a movie like this to be reminded that the only way you're going to ever make a film is if you go.
Don't wait for somebody to come snap you up and all right, we're going to put you in charge of a movie, or we love your ideas. It's like, just go out there and do that shit. You got,
especially the
nowadays,
iPhones now. Your
phone is a production studio. Why aren't you making movies?
And if you can't
you got
write
a computer
script,
and a phone.
You can get someone else who can write it for you.
Which is what he did.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I took this whole film. It's an encouraging look at someone who succeeded when the odds were really not there for them to succeed and to do as well as they did. So
So thumbs up. Watch Dolemite Is My Name. It is on Netflix now. I'm kind of disappointed we missed out when it was playing at the New Beverly as a double feature with Dolemite and stuff, but it's cool.
Was Quentin Tarantino there, I wonder?
I doubt it. I don't know. I don't think he's usually there.
Nah,
but,
I'm joking.
I like the stuff they do there. That was a good double feature to set up.
That would have been cool to see.
Yeah, especially in that theater, because it's reeks 70s.
One thing I should warn people, if you try to watch the Dolemite on Amazon Prime, I read some of the comments. People were saying it was edited, so it doesn't reflect what you see
on Amazon Prime. It's on Netflix.
Eddie Murphy movie. Oh, okay.
It's on Netflix.
So I'm just putting that out there because people were complaining.
Oh, they did
they didn't see the films that they showed in the movie.
Netflix. The actual
Dolemite.
The actual
Dolemite.
I'm sorry.
I'm thinking of the other. Okay, No, I don't know about that.
They were saying that scenes that are in the Dolemite Is My Name were edited out of the original.
Whatever. Because you never know what version is out.
You want to catch the original version of Dolemite to be able to experience what they're trying to recreate in the biopic.
Yeah, but in seeing the original Dolemite, understand it's bad. It's a bad movie.
Horrible.
It's
yeah.
The cinematography was bad.
It's so bad it's good, maybe, but it's bad.
The acting is bad.
It's
just
bad.
a bad
It's
movie.
pretty bad.
But
it is not as good as Dolemite Is My Name.
Yeah,
but
Dolemite Is My Name is a better movie.
It was produced for $100,000, and it looks like it was produced for $100,000.
But just But watch it. Dolemite Is My Name, and then watch it.
But how much did it make? It made
$10 million.
Yeah,
really?
It made $10 million.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
But he pretty much died penniless, though, didn't he?
Yeah, because actually the films he did after didn't make nearly as much money.
Okay.
They weren't nearly as successful.
Too.
Yeah. But he's known for Dolemite, and that kind of made his whole career.
So, all right, I say we out.
We out.
Yo, jab, turkeys.
The offbeat clapping.
God, what was that? What was that one? Oh man, Patrick loved it. Something about what Dolemite or Rudy Raymore was saying.
Put your weight on it.
Is he a Dolemite fan?
All right, here we go.
He's like.